So you want to learn how to use dinos? Well, you came to the right place. This is the ultimate combo guide for how to use dinos in March 2023's competitive Yu-Gi-Oh format. Let's jump into it. What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, and welcome to another competitive Yu-Gi-Oh video. This is the best combo tutorial guide for an amazing going second Dino deck list. This is going to show you guys for what happens if you go first, as well as how to break going second. So if you're excited for the video, then make sure to smash the like button and of course subscribe to the channel as well. We are super close to 50 subs. If you guys can hit that subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got with the combos and the test hands. So in this video, we're going to cover 4 main combos for you guys with these combination of cards right here, as well as going over 1 set of test hands. And we're going to go ahead and just jump on into right away. We have a combo revolving around Soul Overwrapper and Baby Sarosaurus. We have one with Lost World and Scrap Raptor, one with Dragonic Diagram and Baby Sarosaurus, which is great into the side deck if you're going first. And then we have a side, well, not a side, but an option here that looks a little bit bricky going first especially, but in reality is a really strong combo that ends on basically a board that's just as good, if not better, than these first 2 over here, and definitely better than this one over here. Let's go ahead and just jump into starting off with the one with Soul Overwraptor and the Baby Sarosaurus. So let's go ahead, and first things first, we're going to do is have these 2 cards in our hand over here. We've got our place, our center zone over here. We're going to go ahead and normal summon the Soul Overwraptor, use the effect to go ahead and add a copy of Miscellaneous Source from our deck to our hand. We're then going to go ahead and discard the Miscellaneous Source to the graveyard. We'll put the graveyard up over here to be able to get access to the protection effect that it has. We're then going to banish the Miscellaneous Source. We'll put that now in the banish pile all the way over here, which is going to be allowing us to get from our deck a level 1 Dinosaur monster to be able to special summon it directly to our side of the field. With that, we're going to special summon our Animador and Archosaur. When this card is normal or special summoned, we can destroy a dinosaur in our hand or field to be able to basically search a pill, spell, or trap. So we're going to go ahead and use the effect to destroy the Baby Sarosaurus in our hand, which will go to the graveyard. And because it was sent to the graveyard by card effect and destroyed by card effect rather, we get to search our deck, well, for a pill, spell, or trap card first for Animador and Archosaur, and second of all, we get to special summon from our deck a level 4 lower dinosaur monster. In this case here, it's going to be the Baby Sarosaurus. We're going to use the effect of Soul Overwraptor, now the second effect, to destroy the Baby Sarosaurus on field, a level 4 or lower dinosaur monster, and revive back the level 4 lower dinosaur monster from our graveyard. We'll destroy this baby, special summon back the other baby. Now this is important, you can't summon the same baby back to get the effect. Because the Baby Sarosaurus was destroyed by a card effect sent to the graveyard, we can use its effect to be able to special summon from our deck. In this case here, it's going to be a copy of Scrap Raptor. Now Scrap Raptor is great because it is a tuner. It also allows us to get into our Scrap Wyvern combos and get us access to multiple tuners on the field. So we're going to go ahead and use our Scrap Raptor's effect, destroying itself, to be able to search our deck for a copy of Scrap Chimera, which also grants us an additional normal summon. So now we're going to normal summon with our second normal, the Scrap Chimera, be able to revive back the Scrap Raptor. At this point in time, we're going to go ahead and link off our Animador and Archosaur into a copy of the Link Karibo, which is going to be, where did I put it? There we go, Link Karibo. We're then going to go ahead and link off the Link Karibo and the Scrap Chimera into a copy of Scrap Wyvern, which we're going to go ahead and pop right over. If I can find it, that'd be great. There we go. Scrap Wyvern will go right over here. And wow, I just realized with my camera, you can barely see the Scrap Wyvern, but it's up over here. So Scrap Wyvern is over here, Scrap Raptor is up on the left. I'll move things over a little bit more for you guys. So as I was saying, we now have Scrap Wyvern when it's summoned onto the field. Well, not when it's summoned on the field. As an ignition effect, we can use the effect to revive back a Scrap monster from our graveyard. In this case, we're going to revive back our Scrap Chimera. We're then going to have to use the mandatory effect to destroy a card we control. We're going to destroy the Scrap Chimera. And then because the Scrap monster was destroyed and Scrap Wyvern is still on the field, we can use the effect to special summon from the deck a Scrap monster. So we're going to go ahead and special summon out a copy of Scrap Raptor. Now, because this was done, we can now destroy any card on the field. We're going to use that effect to destroy our Baby Sarosaurus, and that's the other effect of Scrap Wyvern. So we're going to destroy the Baby Sarosaurus from our field, triggering its effect because it was sent to the graveyard by a card effect, destroyed by card effect. We're going to go ahead and summon out from the deck a copy of Giant Rex. Now, this is where we're going to pause right here. This is where the end board to a lot of our combos go, and we have to make a decision. What are we going to do from here? So we have a copy of Scrap Wyvern, we have 2 Scrap Raptors, it could be a Scrap Chimera as well, it doesn't really matter in most cases, depending on what you want to go for, a Soul Overwraptor, and a copy of Giant Rex, which is really good to be able to come back. So what we're going to do over here, we have multiple different lines. I'm going to show you 2 of them, and then I'm going to kind of ignore them when they come up in other combos because you can choose multiple different options here. So the first one we're going to do is a combo revolving around Appaloosa and a Synchro Borreload Savage Dragon specifically. And the second one we're going to do is going to be a combo revolving around IP Masquerena, really. So we're going to go ahead and now start off with the combo with Appaloosa. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is link off a copy of Giant Rex, a Scrap Raptor, and a Scrap Wyvern, and that will go into a 3-material Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, which we have right over here. We're then going to go ahead and use our Scrap Raptor and our Soul Eating Oviraptor as a synchro summon into a copy of Borreload Savage Dragon, which we'll put into defense position to protect against Lightning Storm. And because it was summoned, we can use this effect to equip a copy of Scrap Wyvern to our side of the field and give it access to 2 negates because it equals its link rating. So we have 3 negates from Appaloosa because we use 3 materials, and we have 2 negates with Borreload Savage Dragon. We're then going to activate our double evolution pill by banishing a copy of the Giant Rex, which is mandatory to banish here. And in this case here, you can banish one of the Scrap Chimera or the Link Karibo. In this case here, I'm going to go ahead and banish the Scrap Chimera, and that's going to allow me to get a summon from the deck of a level 8 or higher dinosaur monster, level 7 or higher dinosaur monster, in the form of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which I'll put in defense position as well. Because Giant Rex was banished once per turn, it can come back, and we're going to go ahead and bring it back over here. Now, notice that I have my UCT in the zone directly below the Appaloosa here. As long as it's in the zone directly under the EMZ, that's what you want to have, because you want to have easy access to Pentastag if in the event you have to get to that point, because you want to give it access to piercing damage. Okay, so moving on to our second combo here, we're going to go ahead and use this combo with IP Masquerena as well as a Pit Knight early, which is a really interesting combo that has definitely a place in the metagame today. So starting off with this combo, we're going to go ahead and link away our copy of Giant Rex. Well, we're going to use let's go ahead and use our Giant Rex and our Scrap Raptor in this case, actually. We're going to go and link those 2 away into a copy of Pit Knight early. We're then going to go ahead and link the Scrap Raptor and the Oviraptor into a copy of the IP Masquerena, which is going to be pointing to the Pit Knight early will be pointing to. So this is a really important combo here. So right now, the fact that we have this triple action here with our link monsters, our link 2s, we have access to our IP Masquerena, which can go ahead and link someone on our opponent's turn. At the same time, once we activate the effects, we can use Pit Knight early, chain it to negate the effects of a card on the field, as well as reduce its attack down to 0. And then we can go ahead and link someone with these 2 over here into something like a Next Knight Crusadia Avermax, or if we want to be an Appaloosa, it can be an Appaloosa, whatever the case might be. We have options, really. So once we're done with that, we're going to use our double evolution pill, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to banish from our graveyard a copy of the Giant Rex, as well as a copy of the Scrap Chimera. And we're going to summon from our deck a level 7 or lower dinosaur monster, ignoring summoning conditions. In this case here, it's going to be the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which we'll put into defense position. Now, this is well and fine. It's a really strong option over here. It's a really strong combo because you're ending up with multiple interruptions, including the form of the IP Masquerena, and you have still 3 cards in your hand for interruptions. Maybe it's an Imperm, maybe it's an Ash, whatever it might be. It can be really, really strong. At the same time, once you've used this combination here to go into something like your Crusadia Avermax, which we'll go ahead and just show right now, these 2 will go into the Avermax. That's fantastic because now you can use, because essentially you've already used your negate from Pit Knight early, which is great because you have access to the ability to now to use the effect of your UCT, popping the Pit Knight early, and that's really good because you're destroying it. It goes to graveyard, and at the end phase, it will come back into any zone of your choosing. So I can put it now into the zone over here, and now it's facing or pointing towards my UCT. When I use my UCT on the next time around, I can declare the effect as no destroying for cost or anything like that. I chain the early to protect. I can then destroy the early on resolution when everything gets negated, and then booked face down with the UCT. It's a really nasty combo that works well because Pit Knight early keeps coming back every single turn. Really, really nasty. So that's going to be the end of this combo over here for this specific build. If you wanted to, instead of going into your Appaloosa or your IP Masquerena rather, and your Pit Knight early, you can always end off on IP Masquerena plus something like a rank 4. You can go into Lagia or Dolka. So your options could be the ones that I play in this deck. We're going to look at Lagia, Baguska, which is not going to really come up in this case over here, but Dolka is pretty good, and you can always run something like Abyss Dweller if you really want to as well, but you have options is the main thing. I do think that this is a better end board because of the prevalence of Book of Eclipse. You don't have to worry too much about that with this strategy here, since Link monsters can be put face down. Okay, moving on to our second combo. This one's going to revolve around Lost World and Scrap Raptor. We're going to start by activating our Lost World. We're then going to go ahead and normal summon our Scrap Raptor. This will activate the effect of Lost World to give our opponent a Jura Egg token, which we'll put just over here. Now, once we do this, we can use the effect of Scrap Raptor to destroy itself and then search for a Scrap Chimera, granting us an additional normal summon. We're going to go ahead and normal summon the Scrap Chimera, bringing back the Scrap Raptor, and immediately link them 2 away into our copy of the Scrap Wyvern. Now, Scrap Wyvern, on summon, we're going to go ahead and not on summon, but on activation, we're going to go ahead and use this effect to bring back our Scrap Chimera, destroying a card we control or destroy the Scrap Chimera. We're then going to use the effect of Scrap Wyvern because the Scrap monster was destroyed and is still in the field to special summon from deck another Scrap monster. In this case is going to be Scrap Raptor. And because we did that, we can destroy a card on the field. We're going to destroy the Jura Egg token. But because it is a normal monster, we're going to use Lost World to protect it, destroying a dinosaur in our deck instead. And this is where we're going to go ahead and destroy our Baby Sarosaurus. So now Baby Sarosaurus being destroyed, hitting the graveyard, I'm going to organize this a bit better. There we go. So Baby Sarosaurus hitting the graveyard, being destroyed, will activate, allowing us to special summon from our deck a level 4 or lower dinosaur monster. We're going to go ahead and get our Soul Eating Oviraptor to our side of the field, which will trigger and get us a copy of Miscellaneousaurus, which is absolutely huge. Now let's go ahead and activate our Miscellaneousaurus, pitching it to the graveyard to protect all of our dinosaurs from activated effects during the main phase, which is again absolutely critical. But now we're going to do something even more important, which is banish our Miscellaneousaurus as well as our Scrap Raptor in the graveyard to go ahead and special summon from our deck a level 2 dinosaur type monster, which is going to be perfect because we can go ahead and grab a second copy of Baby Sarosaurus. So once we special summon Baby Sarosaurus, we're going to activate the second effect of Oviraptor, destroying the Baby Sarosaurus on our field to special summon the one in our grave. So we're going to do a quick little switcheroo here, replacing Baby Sarosaurus effect will trigger, and we have to special summon a level 4 or lower monster, a level 4 or lower dinosaur monster from my grave, from my deck, excuse me, which is going to end up being the copy of Animadorned Archosaur. Absolutely critical here, as now we can use the effect of Archosaur to destroy a dinosaur in our hand or field to be able to search for a pill card. And we're going to destroy our Baby Sarosaurus, allowing us to trigger it a second time, or a third time actually, I believe it's going to be, getting us a double evolution pill, and off Baby Sarosaurus, we're going to special summon out a copy of Giant Rex. So right now, we're in a really good situation here. We have a ton of bodies on the board. We can do quite a bit with this setup right here. So with this setup, we can end up going into pretty much the same two combos we had gone to before. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the one for the, I'll show you the Pinite Early one quickly. So again, we're just going to be linking off these two. We'll go ahead and link off these two actually into our Pit Knight Early. We're then going to go ahead and link these two off into our IP Masquerena. We're going to use a double evolution pill, banishing our, where is it? I seem to have misplaced my, there we go, Scrap Chimera. Banish our Scrap Chimera as well as our Giant Rex for the UCT in defense position, and the Giant Rex will come back as well. So this is what our end board is going to look like. And again, we can do the exact same thing, but instead of going into the Pinite Early in the Masquerena, we can end up going into the Appaloosa. The only issue with that is if we end up going with an Appaloosa play, we end up going with an Appaloosa play instead of the Pinite Early combo. Because Appaloosa would be used with 3 materials, it's going to have 2400 attack. Lost World reduces the attack of all non-dinos by 500 points, so instead of being at 24, it'll be at 19, meaning it only has access to 2 negates. So just keep that in mind when you're going for your combo ending on Appaloosa with a Lost World up on the field. But it's still a very good line nonetheless. Our next combo is going to revolve around Dragonic Diagram and Baby Sarosaurus. We're going to start by activating Dragonic Diagram, using the effect to destroy Baby Sarosaurus in our hand to be able to go ahead and search for a True King monster. In this case, it's going to be True King Lithosygem the Disaster. We're going to use Baby Sarosaurus' effect because it was destroyed by a card effect to special summon from our deck a copy of Soul Eating Oviraptor, which will use its effect to go ahead and add a copy of the Baby Sarosaurus. We're now going to go ahead and normal summon the Baby Sarosaurus using Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect now to destroy the baby on our field rather, to special summon the baby from our graveyard. Absolutely critical, because now we can go ahead and special summon from our deck another level 4 lower dinosaur monster. And in this case here, I'm actually going to go ahead and grab the third Baby Sarosaurus, because now we're going to go ahead and use the True King Lithosygem's effect and destroy 2 Earth monsters that we control in our hand to special summon it. And because we're destroying 2 Earth monsters, we can go into our opponent's extra deck and search for 3 cards in there and take them out of the extra deck, as long as they have different names. So we can go ahead and banish some one-ofs, we can banish some Zeuses, which are problematic for this deck, we can banish Baguskas, whatever the case might be, we can banish important combo pieces, whatever the case, we have options because of this play. Now, because we've done that, we also have destroyed 2 Baby Sarasauruses, meaning we can special summon from our deck, not 1, but 2 level 4 lower dinosaurs from our deck. So we're gonna go ahead and summon out from our deck a copy of the Animadorned Archosaur, and we'll summon out a copy of Petite Pteranodon. So this is great because now on the summon of Animadorned Archosaur, we can destroy a dinosaur monster on our field or in our hand, in this case Petite Pteranodon, and be able to search for a double evolution pill. Now, because Petite Pteranodon was destroyed by a card effect sent to the graveyard, we can special summon from our deck a copy of Scrap Raptor. Now we can go into lines with Miscellaneous Source here, summoning this, and then being able to banish cards from our graveyard to special summon again. It could work out. In this case here, I don't like it. It's good to have for follow-up, and I know you don't have the protection, but you do have ways to be able to get into good, powerful plays. And if you've made it this far, to be honest, you're probably good to go when it comes to anything else, because your opponent probably thinks you have access to the Misk. So they try to nib you, you chain the Misk, and you're covered at that point in time. Either way, we're going to go ahead and use our Scrap Raptor effect, destroying itself, to be able to search for the copy of the Scrap Chimera. We're going to use our additional normal summon on the Scrap Chimera to bring back our copy of the Scrap Raptor. Once this is done now, we're going to go ahead and link off our copy of the Amador Argosaur into a copy of our Linkuriboh. The reason we're going to Linkuriboh here is because we want to ensure that we have access to a non-dino, engrave. So now we're going to take our Linkuriboh and our Scrap Chimera. We're going to go ahead and link these two away into a copy of the Scrap Wyvern. This is great now because we're in a good position where we can get access to pretty much free link material. So we're going to use our Scrap Wyvern effect, revive back our Scrap Chimera, and we're going to then immediately destroy a card we control. We're going to destroy a copy of our Scrap Chimera. We're going to destroy that right here, and we're going to be able to special from our deck a copy of the Scrap Raptor. Now, because we've done this, we have to destroy a card on the field, and we're going to go ahead and destroy our copy of Dragonic Diagram. We don't really need it anymore, so we can get rid of it. Now we have a ton of material on the board here. We have a lot of really good options, and we can go into some really good link plays here as well. With this specific combo, I prefer to go into something a bit safer. So we're going to go into the Appaloosa combo. We're going to go ahead and link off two of the Earth Monsters, one of the Scrap Raptors and aside from the Disaster, as well as the Scrap Wyvern, to go into our copy of our Appaloosa, if I can find it. And that is perfect because now we can go ahead and link off these two over here, or not link, but synchro off these two over here to get into our copy of the Borreload Savage Dragon, which we'll put over here in defense position, as well as giving it the equip spell of our Scrap Wyvern. So now it has 2 negates. We have 3 negates on the Appaloosa. We can then activate our double evolution pill. In this case here, we don't have access to the Giant Rex, but it's not the end of the world. We can go ahead and banish a copy of Scrap Raptor or a copy of the Amador Argosaur. I'm going to banish Scrap Raptor for this case here, and I'll banish a copy of Scrap Chimera since they're not really needed anymore going forward. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of these, and that will get banished. And we can go ahead and special summon from our deck a copy of the Big Daddy Boss monster, the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So I like this combo a lot. It doesn't seem as crazy as a lot of the other combos. It still ends on the similar board, and it doesn't use Misk, which is great. But the reason why it's so good is because you're able to get critical information. So you don't have to necessarily go into the Appaloosa combo. You can go into the Pit Knight combo. You can go into multiple XCs that you want to go into. Just whatever is best against your opponent's deck. If you find out they're playing Tearlament for some reason, even though Tear is dead, you can go into Abyss Dweller for all I care. There's a ton of really good options to be able to break your opponent's board, or just set up an unbeatable option, an unbeatable board for them to break against your deck. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck up a little bit, and hopefully we get a hand that is not a brick. That'd be really good if it wasn't, but I'm going to give it a few quick shuffles and a quick cut, and then we're going to go ahead and jump on and see what we can do. That's going to be the this can be the card here. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and flip up 1, Fossil Dig, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this hand here looks pretty damn awful, but we're going to see what we can do with it, because right now, what we have in the bureau is a great going second hand. We're going to try and do a combo going first. We're going to go ahead and activate our copy of Fossil Dig to go ahead and grab us a copy of, in this case here, I think I'm going to go after a Baby Ceratosaurus. We're going to go ahead and grab that here. We're then going to go ahead and normal summon our Amador Argosaur, which will trigger and destroy the Baby Ceratosaurus in our hand to be able to search for a double evolution pill from the deck. So let's go ahead and grab one of the two that we play. There we go. We're going to trigger our Baby Ceratosaurus, which will special summon a copy of Soul Eating Oviraptor from the deck, and that'll allow us to go ahead and grab a copy of, in this case here, we're going to go for something along the lines of what? Let's go ahead and grab, we've already used our normal summon. We have already used our effect of Amador Argosaur. Let's go ahead and grab a copy of Misk. With Misk, now we're going to be able to activate its effect, sending it to the graveyard. We're then going to link off our Amador Argosaur into our copy of Linkuriboh. Now we're doing this to be able to get another dinosaur in graveyard. We're going to banish our Linkuriboh, our Miscellaneous and our Amador Argosaur. We're going to banish these two to be able to get into a copy of Baby Ceratosaurus from the deck. So now we have access to our second baby. We have a baby on field, we have a baby engraved, we have Oviraptor on field. Let's do the switcheroo. Pop the baby with the Oviraptor, bring back the other baby. We can use our baby effect now and get into our scrap combos. So here's our Scrap Raptor. We're going to go ahead and use the effect of Raptor, destroying itself, going into Chimera. Chimera is going to bring back the Raptor. We're going to go ahead and then make a link play. We're going to link off these two over here to to go into our scrap wyvern. Where's the wyvern? We're then going to use our wyvern to bring back the copy of Scrap Chimera, destroying a card we control. We're destroying the Scrap Chimera here. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon from our deck the second copy of the Scrap Raptor. And then we have to destroy a card on the field. We're going to go ahead and destroy the Baby Sarasaurus. So boom, we have gone to basically another full combo here, which is absolutely insane with this deck. We're going to go ahead and summon out a copy of Giant Rex. And this, if this looks familiar, this is the same end board we had when we had a setup of the Oviraptor plus the Baby Sarasaurus, which is awesome. The only problem is we use our Misk instead of 2 banish for 1, we banish for 2. So now we're going to go ahead and make a nice play here. We're going to go ahead, I believe the best play is going to be for the Appaloosa line this time around. So we're going to go ahead and link off 1, 2, and 3 into a copy of our Appaloosa. Appaloosa is going to be, where are you? Oh my god, there we go. That's the big thing with doing these. I've realized finding my cards when I actually need them is a bit of a hassle when doing these combo guides. So Appaloosa is great here. We're then going to go into a Synchro Summon with these two over here to go into our Boardload Savage Dragon. We're then going to link our Scrap Wyvern to it to be able to get access to 2 negates. We're going to use a Double Evolution Pill, banishing the Giant Rex, as well as in this case here, we're going to go ahead and get rid of our Scrap Chimera. So Scrap Chimera is banished, as well as the Giant Rex. And from our deck, we're going to go ahead and special summon out our UCT. And because Giant Rex is banished, we're going to go ahead and special summon it back to our side of the field. And now we end up on a board with Appaloosa with 3 negates, Boardload Savage Dragon with 2 negates, a UCT which can destroy the Giant Rex on the field, and a Book of Moon, our opponent's entire board. We also have Nibiru if things get really out of hand. Let's say they manage to like, I don't know, Spear Mode us or Lava Golem us, and we have to really break through their board. We have access to Nibiru to shut that down, and we have an Ash Blossom in hand as well. So this is a really cool hand, really cool way to be able to break our opponent's board or set up a board that's really nasty to deal with. For a going second deck, it does really well going first, and going second rather, you're able to break boards effectively, and of course you are able to go for game because you have access to cards like Dugaras, which can give your UCT double the attack, Pentastag, which can give it piercing, and you can book everything face down and attack everything your opponent controls once each. But yeah guys, that is going to be it for this combo tutorial and the test hand portion of the video. If you enjoyed the video, do me a massive favor and leave a like on the video. Just absolutely destroy, smash, hit the like button, do all that good stuff, because you guys were absolutely insane on the deck profile portion. You guys, I asked for 30 likes in the video, you got over 60. Thank you so much for the support, and make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. We are hopefully about to hit 50 subs. I would really appreciate if we can get there. And if you guys enjoy the content as well, maybe leave a comment. Thanks for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.